Hey everybody, welcome back to Chris's Comments. I do apologize for all the noise that you're going to be hearing outside. I'm right beside a road. But I just had to talk about this subject. Kamala Harris did a speech in Atlanta and it was a very powerful, moving thing. Some notes that I took, however, in the very beginning she started talking about I took on perpetrators of all kinds when I was an attorney general of California. You know, college funds, scandals, and sex offenders and fraud. This is all of what Trump is about. And it was a very good point. She also wound up talking about border. She immediately jumped to border and immigration. You know, how she used to prosecute border criminals back when she was in charge of, you know, whatever, as an attorney, you know. And that no matter what, like the border bill, you know, was a good thing, and that when she's president, she's gonna bring it back to life. She says she said a little catchy thing. Trump talks like he cares about border security and the country, but he does not walk it like he talks it. And everybody sort of went up in an uproar, but that was sort of this woo kind of cheery thing. Even I did, to be totally honest. Now, one of the things she said, when I'm president, I will work on solving this problem. My concern is people like the Texas Governor Greg Abbott, who's already throwing more razor wires into the river, so that way people could cut themselves and drown and die and all this stuff and bleed out in the river. He's already setting up stuff all over again inappropriately, and despite the fact that it's not against the law for him to do that as a power, but we all know that it's not the best way to handle the thing. Her promise, Billy, I hope that the reason why I say it is because I hope that she actually does more than just pass a border bill. Because the bill can be passed, but it's up to every state individual leader, every governor, to actually make the decision on what to follow, how much to follow, if to follow at all. And more than likely, my worthless governor, Texas governor, isn't going to be following it at all, any of the rules. Now, and then she moved on to building up the middle class, high cost of living, which is a big question mark in my mind. She says she will take on price gouging and hidden costs like extra fees and the outrageous housing costs and cap prescription costs, which is what she's already taken part of for the most part through Biden. Obviously she means to maintain it, and that's good, but the high cost of living still involves price gouging and hidden costs, something that really isn't stopping anybody right now. Everything's still very expensive. But if she could find a way, I mean, more power to her. What was smart of her was talking about Project 2025 agenda, something that Trump and every Republican is denying that they're a part of and promoting and all this stuff, even though too late, you know. Even Republicans are saying, oh, we gotta vote for Kamala because she will make sure Project 2025 isn't on and all this stuff, and they're trying to look good and everything. Here's the thing, it's too late for that. You jumped on board the wagon, Project 2025 wagon, and you did nothing but promote Trump, and you did nothing but praise him. You prayed to him, you did all that crap. Everybody out here should vote blue all the way through. And let's keep our fingers crossed that they're not these worthless bitches like Sinema and Manchin. Two Democrats that did nothing but side with Republicans. Okay? We got to do our studying this time. Okay? So much good stuff should have already been passed. The wealth tax plan. All of the infrastructure plans. I think only 2 out of the 3 parts of the infrastructure plan was passed. You know, the data and secure internet security plan, the banishing of TikTok and renewing everything here. The same process of TikTok, just not under Chinese, the Chinese Huawei, something like that. I forgot the name of it. But, that should have already been converted. We should already have that our American version of TikTok under our American computer mainframes. Okay? That should have already been done. And it was spat on this entire time. And the two Democratic people, Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin, they're the two that sided with all of the Republicans to vote against the data protection and internet protection. Okay? It's still under foreign power. It's still under the foreign power. TikTok is still being run under a foreign power. It's not under our American power. It's not under our Central Intelligence Agencies or any other stuff, regardless of all the scandals. I know a lot of people are like, no, you don't want the CIA to be that. Yeah. But we don't want the Chinese Communist Party either, which is a worse political party. They're a dictatorship. They've murdered people, starting with their own countrymen. Okay, I'm not going to go too far into that. You all already know that. If you don't know that, you need to wake up. You need to do your research and look. They're a vicious murdering agency. The CIA has done vicious murders. Huge difference between the two. Okay, CIA does not have the power that the Chinese Communist Party does. Plain and simple. Moving on, back to Harris's speech. Freedom to Vote Act. This is something that she's been putting to the grind for a good while, and she's going to keep it, which is a good thing, because the Project 2025 Act also removes and restricts and keeps people, for some odd reason, it's focused mostly on the black people. Despite the fact that there's, probably twice as many of us Mexicans out here, but nevertheless. Gun restriction regulations, gun laws and such, I approve of it all. I think it's great. Gun restrictions will slow down a person. Everybody who's against gun restriction regulations are saying that's not going to stop the criminal from getting a gun. True. That's true. But gun restrictions and regulations is a thorn in the side to that. And most people that have to go through the gun regulations and restrictions are usually investigated by way of process and are found out mostly through the internet. For some reason, they are posting it on their phones who they're going to kill and when they're going to kill, how they're going to do it. Okay? So it's not a deterrent. It's not a full deterrent. It's not going to stop the criminal. True. But it's a huge pain in the ass deterrent to it. And this is where I'm actually saying it correctly. It is a huge pain in the ass deterrent. The part that got me questioning whether or not she's going to do it, and I really do not see her winning on this, okay? Assault weapons removal. That's a big leap. That's a big leap because it's a powerful, it's a big product in the gun industry, okay? It's a popular one. If she can get it done, great. If she can't, no surprise, no worry. My big deal is to focus on the gun restrictions and regulations, shoot for the assault weapons ban. But I don't think any of us, much less Harris herself, should be surprised if that part fails, okay? The restrictions and regulations is a huge thing to begin with. The proof is 9/11. Now that everybody knows, anybody that wants to learn how to fly a plane but not know how to land it is an immediate investigation on that student. Okay? So many people have been stopped to where now terrorists just avoid going to flight schools altogether. Okay? Terrorists just don't go to learn how to fly planes anymore. So restrictions and regulations and warning signs and red flags and psyche valves You know, those are all good things. So why not? If it stops people from flying planes into buildings, why in the world would we not have it to keep some lunatic, some asshole? If he's not a lunatic, he's just a jerk, just this douche, from getting a machine gun. You see what I'm saying? It's just common sense. The women's right to choose, yeah. She's still a big time women's reproductive act rights advocate, and she really did. The part that was all kind of wonk was the Harris.com donation pitch. I really don't think she needs to pitch it, but you know, she is a politician, and if it's going fine right now, within the first week, for she to start saying, you know, donate, hit the donate button, please, I'd appreciate it. Eek, eek, eek. I guess that is something to expect, because technically she still is a politician, and she's sort of throwing it out there, as opposed to Donald Trump, who's saying, donate now, pay for my legal fees, donate now, I need the money, donate now, you can afford to, donate now. So, I mean, I guess it's a little wonk that she throws that one little pitch, but she is a politician, and that is something to expect when it comes to that. Trump won't debate, but he got a lot to say about me. That's a damn good point. Whether everybody, because everybody's saying too scared, calling Trump too scared to debate. Trump says, we don't need to do that. We don't need a debate. Everybody knows who she is. Despite the fact that back when he was debating against Biden and Biden stumbled and stuttered, he was like, oh, we should debate again. Come on, Joe. What are you afraid of? Come on, Joe. And all this stuff. He was brave to a stumbling old man. He's scared to a strong woman. He's scared to face a strong woman. And it makes sense. It makes sense. That part is dumb. So when he says, well, everybody already knows who we are, we don't need to debate. Technically, that's true. We know who he is. We know how much of a worthless douche he is. You know, especially with Harris. And it's a little bit of a concern. It's very scary. But she's over here saying, you got something to say it to my face. And this is reference to her being labeled a DEI. Didn't earn it, you know, that it was gifted to her because she's black, or because she's a woman, or because she's a black woman with an Asian culture in her family and all this other stuff. Okay, I gotta be honest though, that's very brave, and she could say that as long as he's talking nothing but weird stuff, talking about wearing diapers and being a shark fighter. You know, right now she looks real good saying that. You know, and she looked real good finishing with, you ready to work? Are you ready to fight for it? Freedom. That's good, because when we fight, we win. You know, she looked great. She looked absolutely great up there. What I would have liked to seen her say something on was about foreign policy, our involvement with other countries. Taiwan is going to need our involvement. The Philippines is going to need our involvement, as sure as the Chinese Communist Party is picking fights with our allies, okay? Or even neutrals, okay? It's the simple fact that they're testing the waters to push for more power. That's scary, because we lost Hong Kong. I don't give a damn how many promos there are out there. I don't give a damn how many advertisements there are saying, come to Hong Kong, it's this beautiful enchanted island. Wrong. It was $1 trillion island for the whole world to benefit off of. America benefiting off of 690 plus billion out of that $1 trillion, okay, on trade and data services and all that good stuff. Okay, we were making $600 billion plus almost $700 billion a year off of Hong Kong. That's not happening now. Okay, the Chinese Communist Party took over it. and it's nothing but a rundown where more and more Hong Kongans are disappearing, much like the Uyghurs did, and more of our body organs are being available and up for sale. Okay, that market hasn't changed either. It's still a big lucrative market for the Chinese Communist Party, and all they had to do was murder people of different cultures, and in this case, Hong Kong. Okay, and that's another reason why they want the Philippines. That's another reason why they're pushing to pick fights with Taiwan. Okay, so for our involvement with these countries, it will be very important. It will be very important. It could lead up to more wars, which is true. But seeing as how we've already got 2 wars already active, Israel and the Ukraine, okay? 2 very important wars to attend to stop other countries from taking over and gaining more power, to stop other countries from killing our allies and taking more power. Okay, we'll start with Russia once again. With Russia, okay, they don't want unification with Ukraine. They just want that oil that Ukraine can provide. Why? Because they don't have oil to sell to us. There is no Russian oil. There's stolen Ukrainian oil. There's stolen Crimean oil. There was stolen Kosovo oil. It was stolen Croatian oil. It was stolen Bosnian oil. It was stolen Hertzkov. I forgot the name, but you understand what I'm saying. It's all blood oil. Biden said no to it, okay? And now we have no blood oil on our markets, okay? The Middle East. We're not at war with the Middle East except through Israel. And the only people in the Middle East that are doing anything are these hate organizations: Hezbollah, Houthi, Hamas. Occasionally ISIS wants to pitch in. According to security broadcast, ISIS is looking to jump into the fight once again. Okay? And the Middle East, much like with Russia, where Russia said, hey, you will let us invade all these countries and you will buy our oil and you will like it, America, or else no deal. Middle Eastern is saying, hey, you're going to let us kill all the journalists that expose our corruption, and you're going to get out of our way as we invade Israel, or you don't get our oil, and you're going to pay for our oil top dollar, and you're going to love it, America, or no deal. Same thing with Venezuela. Foreign policy and the wars with Venezuela. It's possible that we might have to go to war for Venezuela, just because of the attack that they're planning on doing to Guyana, the little country right next to Venezuela that has tons of oil on land and on their shores, okay, in their waters. Venezuela wants to attack Guyana, okay? President Biden already asked for a deal for the oil over there. And they said, no, you're going to take all of the migrants that we kick out, you're going to let us invade Guyana, and you're going to pay top dollar, and you're going to love it, America, whether you like it or not. Okay? This is the crap that we're about to go through with Venezuela, what we're already going through with Russia and now Israel, and what's going to look like what we're going through with the Philippines and Taiwan. Okay? Which, for the record, makes it all that more dangerous for China to go back to Japan. Okay? And North Korea to pull their crap on South Korea and or Japan. Okay? You know this, because as sure as they can get away with taking one island, you know they're going to go for the next. It's just that obvious. Global trade. I would have liked to have also seen her say stuff on global trade. The industry itself concerning oil, what we had just talked about, outsourcing, maybe a little bit more friendlier work exchange, as opposed to outsources. And the data and tech, like the way I was talking about with TikTok and all that stuff. It would have been nice. It would have been nice to hear Harris bring up some good points on securing our data and tech industry, our work exchange history, and the industry itself concerning oil and other trade. Okay, it would have been nice. I would have liked to have heard her say stuff about that, because she's already got the border covered. She's already got social issues like women's rights covered, you know, abortion and all that, education. She made one mention about our history, which of course we all know what that means. Critical race theory, that we should all know what happened and all that stuff. I agree. But I honestly think she should take my side, follow my footsteps. When I said about white people and their pride, there's nothing wrong with being proud to being white. Nothing. If you want to marry white only, by all means do so. Jewish people do it all the time. You can't marry into a Jewish family unless you convert to Hebrewism. Islamic people do that all the time. You can't get married into an Islamic family unless you join the Islamic religion, the Islamic faith. Okay? So for whites to say, well, I want to marry a white person, there's nothing wrong with that. It's the white hate that's a concern. Okay? It's the white hate. As long as we're looking at critical race theory, we might as well just stick to ballistics. It's not about being white or being proud to be white. It's about that pride, permitting, using that pride to perform acts of hate. Okay? We Latinos, we don't tolerate that crap. We will rat out any cartel son of a bitch that's over here. Chapo got arrested. His son got arrested. Another Capitan got arrested. None of us cares. We all think that's great. It's kind of a breath of fresh air, okay? Because we can because fighting for them doesn't pay our bills, okay? We don't care about them having Mexican pride. It's the bullshit acts of hate that they're doing that's landing them into prison and all this crap. That's the stuff that we wanted, that we're talking about. Now revert that same analogy to the white pride, okay? Be proud of being white. Just please don't use that pride to enact acts of hate. Please. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's what critical race theory is actually about. Okay? She's doing real good, sticking to her guns and the topics that she's discussed. She's keeping it steady, down and out, and direct. And the best thing about her is, unlike Trump, she's not doing all this babbling buffoon bull crap. You know? She's not a babbling buffoon with name calling like border czar, when in actuality she's a reproductive rights czar. But she's not doing any of this garbage, you know. She's not babbling so much like Trump, his real name. She kept her speech around 20 minutes, and she kept to the point, and she just left the crowd wanting more, and that was absolutely awesome. She was really, really great, and I thought that she did a great job, and I hope that she just simply maintains, okay? She just maintains and stays that route. That'd be great. Maybe expand, maybe stay that way along with all the other stuff, the foreign policy, the global issues, climates and all that, climate change and all that good stuff, endangered species, you know, physically challenged, mentally challenged, and the economics and stuff. As long as she just maintains herself, you know, I think she's going to be a great person, a great president, you know, as long as she sticks to those things and doesn't flinch at whatever it is that he's got. And you know he's going to try the day that they do debate. We all could see it. Excuse me. We all can see what he's going to be doing. He's going to try to look holier than thou. He's going to try to look God-given, God-sent. He's going to try to look like I got you. You know, he's going to try to mimic her prosecutorial methods. You know, that prosecutor that's going to come out when she points out, when she facts check him and she points out the lies that he's committed and all this stuff. You know full well he's going to try to role reverse it like he's the sharp one, you know. And the only thing that I could say is, much like all the other Republicans out there that jumped on his bandwagon, it's too late. It's too late for that crap. But you know full well he's going to try anyway. As sure as Republicans right now are trying to be the big political leader, okay? Trying to be the common sense, you know, down to earth, understandable, you know, great leader, you know it's gonna happen. And the only thing, of course, we could say is too late, you know, too late, you know. And if we all just do our research and make sure that we don't vote another Kristen Sinema and another Joe Manchin, you know, as long as we don't fall for that crap, we'll be okay. And that's pretty much it about the speech. I was debating myself as to whether or not I wanted to talk about Megan Thee Stallion, but I'm just going to go ahead and finish off with Megan Thee Stallion. She looked great. The opening act, it was nice to see how she's still this 100% beautiful girl. You know, I mean, I know she's a full-grown woman, but she looks like that. I was watching her and I noticed the similarity to the early 1990s Tejano performer, because I am a Tejano, Selena Quintanilla, who wasn't wearing the same outfit, but what I noticed is that they were both covered up. They were both almost completely covered up, but they wore their outfits really well. I mean, they just looked absolutely beautiful. And Selena Quintanilla, I mean, she's deceased now. Please forgive me for saying this, but her solid purple with sequins, with shiny glitter sequins pattern, and the hair with the bangs and the long in the back with the full lips, and the way she wore her makeup with the full lips and the eyelashes and everything, you know, Selena Quintanilla, I mean, was just absolutely beautiful. And she was a delight to see on that stage. And I felt that kind of rekindled high spirits uplift when I saw Megan Thee Stallion performing. She was almost completely covered up. She wore a short shirt, but she wore a coat underneath it. She wore a jacket underneath it, and she wore pants that she just filled out very nicely. And she just looked absolutely beautiful. I kept doing this thing, trying to look past her dancers on my screen. That's how you know when she says I'm a hot girl. She's a hot girl. Okay, she was just absolutely beautiful, and it was wonderful to see her there, and it was wonderful to see her, you know, doing the getting everybody riled up for our future president, Kamala Harris. It was just really a delight to see. She's looked absolutely beautiful. Okay, that's all I got to say about that. And it was good to see her again up there. It was cool to see everybody else up there. Stacey Abrams, awesome to see such a legend up there, and you know, all the men that came out to back up Harris, from politician all the way down to entertainers of the neighborhood. I mean, it was also even local entertainers that made their name, of course, but still, I mean, they came out, and it was awesome to see all that kind of participation, and that Harris permitted all of this, the faculty and the staff permitted such a wide range of these gentlemen for speaking out and making the point clear that, you know, how great it was to see all of that up on that stage. It was just really, really awesome. So with that, I mean, I hope they keep up the good work. I hope everybody keeps on staying safe out there. We're on Hump Day Wednesday on this day. It's Hump Day Wednesday. The weekend's coming up. Tomorrow is the first preseason game. My Houston Texans are going to be playing. I'm a Tejano, so I'm going to always be rooting for my Texas teams. You know, I'm going to be rooting for the Texans. I'm going to be rooting for the Cowboys. Here in San Antonio, we have an arena football team. They're called the San Antonio Gunslingers. We have a minor league football team. They're called the Brahmas. And I'm rooting for them also. I'm always going to be rooting for them. We still got basketball coming up. I still a Spurs fan. I'm still a Dallas Mavericks fan. I'm still a Houston Rockets fan. I'll always root for them. I even show respect for our hockey teams. I don't know nothing about hockey. I rarely get the chance to see a game, but if it's a Texas team, I'm going to root for them. But it all starts tomorrow with the Texans, okay? It all starts tomorrow with the Texans, the first preseason game, and I hope everybody enjoys themselves. Like I said, I'm a delivery guy. I hope to be delivering a lot of charcoal and poultry meats tomorrow. Again, everybody, stay safe out there. I love you all very much. I hope you all take care. This is Chris with Chris's Comments, signing out.